Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I just read a great article on ringtv.com. Make sure you guys check it. It is linked in the description. It's from Manny Pacquiao, boxer, Hall of Famer. Well, he will be in the Hall of Fame. Senator Mr. And he's rebuttaling something, I guess a notion that Bob Arum has put out in the media, and that's basically that Pacquiao is going to fight 4 times in 2017 to do this like world tour. I heard something like it could be against Jeff Horn in Australia, then the UK, Kell Brook, and maybe Russia and America. All these things that Top Rank Promotions CEO Bob Arum had said and outlined in previous interviews. And Pacquiao responded to those claims, and he says this, and I quote, "I'm not a robot. I'm human. To fight twice a year is hard for me. How much if I fight 4 times a year? It's going to be impossible." And he says that's just Arum doing wishful thinking on a possible tour. But there's no way we can cope with that because of Manny's schedule. That's what Michael Conks chimed in. So they're saying it's not happening. Pacquiao's advisor and Pacquiao. So they're going to go back to the drawing board. The Jeff Horn fight looks like the fight that is going to be the one. However, it is not finalized. I don't think they have Manny's signature on the dotted line. And my quick thoughts on it, I think good for Pacquiao because, I mean, you have to, I feel like if you're a team, the thing is Pacquiao's team oftentimes seems in disarray, right? You have different members saying different things. You have one person saying Adrian Broner, Danny Garcia's option, then they're like, oh, we never heard that. Or Freddie Roach will say, Pacquiao's really a 135 pounder. I want him to fight at 140. That's his better weight. You'll see more knockouts. And then you'll hear other people say, oh no, he's a welterweight. We're not going down to 40, right? Then you'll hear Arum say, Pacquiao said yes to Terrence Crawford fight. And Freddie Roach is like, I want some tune-ups before that fight. And then you hear Michael Conk say, we've never considered Terrence Crawford. We don't like the way he looks, his style or whatever. So it's just all over the place. And I'm glad Manny Pacquiao is taking the stand in his career and saying what he can and can't do. He's 38 years old. He's already a legend. He could retire right now. He already has a legendary in-stone career, right? So to fight 4 times, that's a lot, especially for someone who's been knocked out before, who has like 50 plus fights. Manny Pacquiao has a lot of fights, a lot of just mileage, a lot of wars, a lot of fighting bigger guys and stuff like that. So fighting 4 times, I knew that sounded a bit over the top. And you know, I mean, from Bob Arum's perspective, I understand it's a business and he has a fast growing stable and Top Rank and stuff. He's been in the business, but you don't want to abuse your best workers, your best people. Pacquiao's been providing Top Rank millions of dollars in the last decade, right? So you don't want to abuse him like that and make him fight 4 times in a year at age 38. I mean, you don't really see many fighters in general. Keith Thurman had a great fight with Sean Porter. He's supposed to fight his mandatory David Avince, and he only fought 1 time last year, right? So that seems to be the trend in boxing. A lot of these guys are really just fighting 1 time throughout the year. So to have Pacquiao at age 38 fight after all the wars and like all the fights he's had, it doesn't really make sense. So I agree, Pacquiao, he's not a robot. He does show signs that he's slowing down. Like, he hasn't had a knockout since Miguel Cotto, 11th round TKO, and he's hurting guys. I mean, his power, he still has power to, you can't just walk through his shots and be good. Like, he hurt Jesse Vargas, knocked him down. He hurt Mayweather briefly. Mayweather got back to his game plan, knocked Chris Algieri down 6 times, etc. Hurt Bradley, knocked him down 2 times in the 3rd fight. So my only thing for Pacquiao is, I understand not fighting 4 times, but you're still good. You're still an elite level fighter. If Pacquiao fought anyone not named Mayweather, he would probably open up as the favorite. So to me, it's a regression to fight a guy like Jeff Horn, because Jeff Horn is not even in like Victor Ortiz's shoes when he fought Mayweather, right? Because we haven't seen, like, win, lose, or draw, we had seen Victor Ortiz in some pretty big fights before he fought Mayweather. He fought Lamont Peterson to a draw. He quit in the Maidana fight, but we still got to see him in there. He hurt Maidana in that fight, right? And he was coming off the Berto win. So we knew a bit more about Victor Ortiz by the time he finally stepped up and got the Mayweather sweepstakes. We don't really know, especially in the States. And even in Australia, I've had people, since the fight has been mentioned, talk about the Jeff Horn. They're like, I don't even know Jeff Horn, and I live in Australia. I live in New Zealand. You know what I'm saying? So I think Pacquiao's definitely, if you're beating guys that have a tested pedigree, like Jesse Vargas, he has a pretty good resume. You know what I mean? He's been in there with Timothy Bradley, hurt him in the 12th. He's been in there with Khabib Alikverdiev. He beat Jesse Vargas. He stopped Saddam Ali, who was a U.S. Olympian, right? So he has a pretty solid resume. We've seen Jesse Vargas. We know what he brings. He was willing to fight Kell Brook. We know what he brings to the table. He was taller than Pacquiao. I mean, most people didn't pick Vargas to beat Pacquiao, but he went in confident, had switches in his team, stuff like that. We've seen Bradley. We haven't seen Jeff Horn. So the only place, and the reason why they're talking about making that fight in Australia, is that's the only place they can make it, because it's not going to do good in the States. I mean, you could do it maybe somewhere else, like a Dubai or something, because Dubai, there's a lot of money out in the UAE. There's a ton of money, millionaires, billionaires, and some ballers out there. So maybe just to bring an attraction like Pacquiao, who is a name in the sport, to their facilities or their venues, you might be able to get some money, but you're not going to see that type of money. Like Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko, obviously it's going to do better in the UK because the UK fans are loyal. But even if that fight was brought to the US, it would still do good. People would have, if that came to Vegas, Klitschko versus Joshua, it would still do good. Maybe not as good because we didn't have the Wembley with that they could configure to 90,000 or whatever in Las Vegas. I mean, I don't know any arenas that are quite that big, but it would still do good. Jeff Horn, if you put that in Vegas at the MGM, it would not do good. It's just, it is what it is. So they know what they're doing from a business sense. But it's just Pacquiao, he's still a good fighter and a formidable opponent. And if you really truly want that Floyd Mayweather rematch, beating Jesse Vargas, who people didn't want to see you fight and really didn't give a shot, beating a guy like Jeff Horn, I just don't see that bringing Floyd out of retirement. Like, oh, Pacquiao, I watched his last fight, top ranked pay-per-view. He beat Jeff Horn. He's a solid competitor. He's a young, hungry kangaroo. You know what I'm saying? Floyd's not going to do that because the money wouldn't even make sense, because people don't know where Pacquiao is at post Mayweather loss fighting competition like Jeff Horn, right? You don't. But to build excitement and intrigue and drama that could request, like if Pacquiao if he beat Terrence Crawford, he'll get all the credit in the world from the world of boxing, because every time Pacquiao does anything, he gets credit. If he beats this person, oh, he beat Bradley. I thought he beat him the first 2 times. He beat him the 3rd time. They say Pacquiao's back. He's super sharp. He's reinvigorated. He's vintage. Okay, if that's how you feel, why is he fighting Jeff Horn and Jesse Vargas? You know what I'm saying? So it's like people, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to say after the Bradley 3 fight, which Pacquiao did look good. He looked sharp. He did get hurt though in that fight too versus Timothy Bradley, but he looked good and he knocked Bradley down and punctuated that rubber match in the trilogy and said, hey, I'm the rightful winner. Despite the past 2 fights, you guys seen he cannot beat me. Bow. Right? So he put his stamp on that. And people said he was back. So if he's back, then why can't we see him against a better level of opposition? Even a Broner, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence Jr., right? Terrence Crawford, any guy that's top. And not to mention, I understand Pacquiao's a legend, but he's a champion. So you don't just, it's kind of what Kell Brook's doing. Because you fight Golovkin, that means you get to pick and choose. Because not only did you fight Golovkin, you fought him and lost. That doesn't mean you get to pick and choose. Oh, I want Amir Khan. I want Pacquiao. You can't pick it. You weren't even the winner of the fight, right? You're a champion at welterweight, so you got to fight ranked people in and I understand Jeff Horn's ranked, but at this point for Pacquiao's career, he's an attraction and a name and has a historic pedigree. So it's like, why would you be fighting? It's just like Canelo Liam Smith. Out of all the talent there at 154, you're going to fight one ranked guy who nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's going to really favor him to win. They have an Australian judge, I did a video about it, who says he gives Jeff Horn no chance, no shot to beat Pacquiao. And he was the judge in Jeff Horn's last fight. So he got to see Jeff Horn. So he knows what Jeff Horn is about in his fight game. He said he's a nice kid, but nice doesn't win fights. You know what I'm saying? So being a champion and being such an elite fighter, we should hold Pacquiao to a higher standard. And again, Terrence Crawford, if you beat him, you're the man. And that could definitely draw Mayweather out of retirement, because they're saying he's a baby Mayweather. They're saying he fights like Pernell Whitaker. He fights like Floyd. He's the younger Floyd. He's the new Floyd. You know what I'm saying? So if Pacquiao were to beat him, which a lot of people think Pacquiao can beat him, you know what I mean? And honestly, I mean, if Gamboa can hurt you, Pacquiao can hurt you, because it's at a higher weight. Pacquiao is also a damn good fighter, has tons of experience, you know what I'm saying, at a high level. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Pacquiao says he's not a robot. Will he fight Jeff Horn? It's looking like it. But I'm glad he's taking a stand and responding to Bob Arum's claim of this world tour. And I just want to see Pacquiao fight people that are ranked yet as a champion, ranked, but he's at a point where he should be fighting people like, you notice, like Mayweather's fight, even the Berto. Like the Berto, people bashed it, but I guarantee you it'll probably do better in the States than Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? But even beyond that, like the Maidonnas, those are still more attractions. They still did a world tour for that. They were in Texas and wherever else, New York, wherever else they went, right? Jeff Horn is not, I don't even know if they would do a U.S. tour and go to Texas and Dallas, Chicago and California. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Pacquiao versus Horn, not finalized, but it's still looking like that is the ticket. Pacquiao also says, I'm not a robot. I ain't fighting that many times. Link in the description. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.